Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Romance Nights. We are your hosts, Kolleen.
And I'm Marjorie. Tonight's episode, we have Amazon Charts bestselling contemporary romance and women's fiction author Jennifer Milliken. She writes stories that blend spice, swoon, and laughs. She is also a two-time recipient of the Reader's Gold Star Award. Welcome to the Unfiltered Romance Nights podcast, and we are extremely excited to have you.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, congratulations on your new release, Penn.
Thank you.
Yeah, before we chat about Penn related questions, we have questions about you as an author, if that's okay.
Okay, here we go. Now, becoming an author was your childhood dream. So after writing your first book in 5th grade, was this the career that you always had in mind, or were you doing something else?
This is definitely the career that I always aspired to have. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's great. Like when you're at a young age and you already know. I can tell you I had no clue. I still don't have a clue what I'm doing, but
yeah. Well, I mean, that's awesome though. Like, like doing what you dreamt about instead of just like, oh, I'm going to do it whenever I can do it.
Yeah.
Like switching careers.
I need to know, what was this book you wrote in 5th grade?
It was a short story called A Gust of Wind and He Was Gone.
Oh.
So dramatic. I know.
I love it.
Sounds like a mystery.
Yeah, I don't know where it was going exactly, but
so kind of like, I guess, how did you kind of like get started in publishing, and which one besides the very first one from 5th grade, which one was the first one that you actually like published?
Yeah, so in 2015 I had a really vivid dream, and I woke up from it and I grabbed my I guess it was my phone at the time, and I just scribbled everything down, that I could possibly think of. I just wrote it all down. And then I started to sort of plot from there. And then maybe that was 2014 when that happened. And in 2015, I self-published it. And that's how it all began.
Yeah. So when you self-publish it, like through Amazon or?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I just aged myself because I was like calculating 2000. I was like, wait, it's 2005. I was like, oh, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, right?
I know.
It must have been a wild ride. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Now, do you have a strict publishing schedule, or do you announce release dates once you finish writing the book?
No, I'm pretty good about having a pretty strict schedule for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you'll give it like releasing in May 2025, or do you just announce it as you go?
No, I announce the exact date because I usually put them up for pre-order, and so you have to choose a date.
Okay.
Do you typically kind of have like a goal of how many you would publish in a year, or?
Definitely at least one.
Yeah.
It changes. It fluctuates with whatever I think is really like what I'm really capable of doing.
Yeah. Because a lot goes into it. You gotta, are you a plotter? Like, do you do like an outline? Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you've got to put it together, and it's a process. I guess like, it's just not a matter of just, okay, I'm just going to start writing, because you got to have a captivating story.
No. Right. Yeah. And it's not just the story. Mm-hmm. You also have to schedule everybody that you need to help you make the story shine. Yeah. And so it's not as romantic as it sounds, just sitting down and just writing,
Now, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you can go ahead. You had it in your... I didn't want you to lose it.
If you get stuck when you're writing, like if it's just like, where it's going, and then you're like, okay, now where is this taking me? Is there something that you do to like reset? Any kind of hobbies or anything?
I try and exercise almost every day. So maybe I'll go to Pilates, or I'll walk my dogs, or throw the ball for my retriever. She always appreciates that.
Oh, you have a retriever? I have a chocolate lab. I love them. Such good dogs.
I know. They are.
Okay, so for like new readers, like that, will discover you like in social media and stuff, or how would you describe your books in 3 words? Which one?
No. Heart, heat, and humor.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Like right?
Oh, I like that. Triple H.
That's right.
Now, let me just ask this. So, Penn is a series. How many series, for anyone that's just getting to know you, how many series do you have out there?
4 series, and then a handful of standalones.
Okay. Now, out of all of those books, I know this a bit, which one would you say was the hardest to write?
Probably the 3rd in my Hayden family series. It's called The Outlaw.
Okay.
And the male main character was very difficult to dig into. He was complex and layered, and I had to spend a lot of time with his character.
Yeah. They're probably like, as an author, these are probably almost like real people to you because you develop them from like birth to the end.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that one down. The Outlaw.
Adding to our TBRs.
I know. Girl, it never ends.
I know. I'm a reader too.
Side question. Do you get to read a lot or not quite?
I do try and read a little bit every day before bedtime. I try not to look at my phone unless it's like I'm making a grocery order really quick, or just double checking that whatever I scheduled for Instagram for the morning is like still okay, And then I put my phone down and I try and read a little bit before I fall asleep.
You're good. I think I end up doom scrolling.
Oh, I don't doom scroll because I feel yucky when I do that. It's never a positive experience for me.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
I don't know. It's like I'll doom scroll and then I'll see like those short series, and then I'll be like Googling like, where can I find this now? Like, I was like, no, I'm supposed to be reading. And I'm like watching these Chinese dramas and I'm just like, I'm like, take myself out. Yeah. I should probably do that. Like, just leave my phone somewhere where I can reach it from my phone.
I know. It's true.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite author? I know you said you read.
Yeah. So my favorite author is Kristen Hanna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that contemporary or?
She writes women's fiction. And
okay.
Recently, in the last handful of years, she has started writing historical women's fiction. Yeah. A few of her books are being made into movies right now. She just wrote The Women, which is about the women who served in the Vietnam War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's women's fiction. It's not romance pretty much at all. There might be a little bit of romance in there, but it's 100% women's fiction. But it's really just like, the story of the woman but it's all fiction, but she does so much research. So a lot of it, I think she does draw from real events.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like almost every book out there is being turned into either TV show or movie. And I was like, it's like there's always that expectation, especially if it's your favorite book. Like, are they gonna be able to?
Oh, that's so tough too. Because I mean, almost always the book is better, right?
Yes.
I think so.
I do. Okay, so we'll move to Penn.
Okay.
So I know what kind of like your inspiration for anybody that's kind of just like heard the title, did not read the blurb or anything. What was the inspiration for this book and like the series itself?
The 1987 film, The Princess Bride.
Oh, yes. You did write about that in the beginning. Oh, my God. Yeah. That was so good. I love that movie.
I know, right? Oh, my God. So good.
And this is the first book of the Olive Township series for anyone that's listening. It gives that. What do you do? Is this a real town?
No.
Oh, okay. I wonder about that sometimes. Like when I'm reading and it's like these towns and everything, I'm like, was research? Did you have to research this? It's just fictitious town. I love it.
Fictitious town. I just created it.
I know. I want to live in these books sometimes.
I know.
Is it difficult to like build like a fictitious town versus like the whole story itself? Because I feel like, you know, when you're building a town, it's a story itself as well.
Yeah. It's not difficult. I would say it's just more that I have like certain boxes that I want to check when I'm creating a town like that. You know, you want to make it feel cozy and like people are at home when they're there. And what do people find cozy about something? Well, they like a good coffee shop and they like a library and they like some things that are eccentric and kind of cute and unique to the area. So I try to do.
And I feel like that was done really well in this book. Like I need to feel like I'm there, I'm part of the town, and to be able to visualize that. I mean, right down to the, and this isn't giving anything away, but right down to the explanation of Penn, Peter, John, the mother's house.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I could actually see it when they were describing it. So yeah, that kind of throws me off sometimes when you're reading something and it's like, I just don't quite get it. With this, I think it was spot on.
Okay.
Now, for anyone who hasn't had a chance to read this book yet, if you could give about 1 or 2 sentences to get someone to read it without revealing any spoilers, what would you say?
Okay, let's see. A former Navy SEAL returns to his childhood hometown under a secret identity, only to learn that his one who got away is marrying the man he hates.
That's it.
There we go.
Now we need to know. Now everybody needs to go and read it.
That's a good, like, catchy kind of, you know, reel somebody in. Like,
oh, well, thank you. You know, it's so fun you guys asked me that. I can't wait to go tell my family you asked me that because like 10 minutes before I came into my office, I was talking about book signings because I just did a book signing this weekend. And I was telling them how like different it is now than it was when I first started doing them because I used to be so nervous and I would practice my elevator pitch for every single book. And I said, I don't even do that anymore. Like I didn't even consider having an elevator pitch when I was going into this signing last Friday. I wasn't nervous, nothing. And so I can't wait to tell them that you guys just asked me for an elevator pitch on my own.
I didn't even think about that. We didn't even word it as like, it's an elevator.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, I wanted to sentence summary of what it's about.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Like I get all jammed up. I'm like, the guy and this girl. It's like it's a second chance sort of ish.
Yeah.
Well, it's technically a second chance.
Yeah. That's why I love that people are able to do book reviews on TikTok or Instagram or any other social media. And they do it so well. Me, I'm like, That's why I tend not to do them.
Yeah.
I'm like rusty because I haven't posted since last year. Like I just like haven't like been posting. I mean, I'm reviewing stuff, reading stuff. I'm just like I'm too lazy to post. And when I try to do it, I'm just like, I know I just read this, but I don't remember anything. So,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
I
I
don't
know.
like. It's yeah. Do you kind of like out of pen? But anyway, I like. Do you write like ahead of time before like your schedule? Like you have books written already that you know you're gonna publish this year, or you do it one at a time?
I should do it like that. But so far this year, that is not how I'm operating.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. I've heard of that. Like some authors are like, oh no, I have like 6 other books. Like they're just jotting down different ideas. I'm like, oh God, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, that I do. I do have a
You
lot
do?
of ideas for
Okay.
different things that I am working on. And it's funny because I have one book that I'm not sure when I'm going to release it, and it's not a part of this series.
Okay.
But I already have a title and I have like a loose plot, and I'm already getting the artwork done for it. And it's just so funny because it's like, I don't know when I'm going to release this book, but I'm very excited for it.
Well, at least we know like we can look forward to something that's
Yes.
out of the series.
Exactly. There's more to come from me.
Yeah.
How many books are you planning in this series?
4.
4.
Okay. And have we met all these characters yet?
Yes.
Okay. Just
They've at
curious.
least been mentioned on the page.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like Googling. I was like, it says it's a series, but it's fine. What I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I don't know how many. Yeah, book one is there.
Yeah.
Now, have you thought about some authors like to dabble into different tropes, genres, subgenres. Is there any subgenre or trope that you haven't written yet that you would really like to give a try to?
This next book that I'm writing in the series, Hugo, is she's pregnant, but it's not his. And I've never written that before. And it's really fun to write.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we get a lot of those where like, they're already pregnant with somebody else's kid and then fall in love. And
yeah,
I think I've only read 1 or 2. Maybe.
Trying to think.
I don't know if it's just not a popular idea or it's just like people might, not like it like that. But
we'll see. There's frost.
I like it. I like something outside the box. I know, and this is not the same, but some people just don't do the whole pregnancy trope, even though this is not necessarily what that is.
Right.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either.
Yeah.
Yeah. My most viral book is Accidental Pregnancy / Surprise Baby. So.
Oh, okay. Which book is that?
Interesting. I actually like those sometimes. Like, surprise, because it makes it more, I guess, like add more to the story. Like, you already have like a plot to it, going in, but then you add more kind of like, stress, I guess, for both characters if it's like a surprise, not expecting it. So, and I think it's like for your next book that you're doing that specific, I guess, would be a trope. It makes it more like, once they fall in love and all that stuff, like, I feel like character development wise for the, other character, be like, hey, I'm taking it on and falling in love and all that stuff. That hits different because I don't think a lot of people would be able to deal with that, kind of situation. So I'm looking forward to that. So, and that's the second book.
That rolls into the next question on which couple can we expect to see? You already said Hugo.
Hugo and the true crime podcaster who wants to solve his father's unsolved murder.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that mystery.
Okay.
Writing down stuff.
I know.
Well, if you remember from The Princess Bride, do you remember much about the film?
I do.
The person in the movie, his dad was murdered.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my
You killed
father.
my father.
Prepare to die.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh my God, that's so funny. How do I remember that? But I can't remember like
Names?
what I did, where my glasses are sometimes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, those details sometimes. So when you're reading, like you'll remember details even if you don't remember which book it is or stories, you just remember them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay, like we'll put you on a spot a little bit. Do you have like a favorite couple out of all the books that you've written so far?
As I say to my children, I love you equally and for different reasons. But my shelves are kind of bare right now because of the signing. But so I wrote the story of how my husband and I met. So I'm gonna probably have to say yes, that's my favorite.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I have to like find which one it is on your.
It's called The Day He Went Away.
The Day. Okay.
Get it? Who's always writing things in The Day He Went Away? I have to read that next.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any special editions coming out or any plans to do any special editions?
I'm hoping to have Here for the Cake done as a special edition for a signing. I don't know if I'm going to have it I'm doing Vegas in October. So I don't know if I'll have it in time for that or if I'm going to save it for Wild and Windy West in Phoenix in 2026, which is the same signing I just did this past weekend. So it'd be 1 year from now. I'm still figuring that out. So, because I have a lot of things that I'm doing in terms of like getting all the covers finished for Olive Township and this other one that I'm doing like the character art for the cover right now. And I'm going to recover a series and I haven't announced that yet. So there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen right now. So.
Oh, okay.
So I know you said you went to one signing already over the weekend and then you're doing another one in October. Do you only do 2 a year, 1 a year, or do you do more than that?
Probably only 1 to 2 a year. My kids are like early teenage years right now. And it's such a busy time. Like I thought they were busy as toddlers. Not at all. This is like the days fly by.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone's always got an activity and it's this many times a week. And I know, I get it.
Yeah. And a friend that they want to see, but they don't drive yet. So I'm in charge of their social lives and, school lives and extracurricular lives. And my husband doesn't travel too much. So he is a big help. But it's still, we've got man-on-man coverage right now with each kid, so it's like still a lot.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you, like when you go on signings, did you by yourself or like have like an assistant?
I had an assistant this past weekend and I don't know what I would have done without her.
Yeah.
It was insane. I will plan to never go without an assistant ever again.
Yeah.
Were you doing it without an assistant before?
I did. Was it not this last time in Vegas I had an assistant, but the time before that I did not. And so I don't know, that was 2 years ago or something. And I was like, having to do like the money part, like when people would buy books from me directly at my table, like if they didn't pre-order them. I was dealing like with that situation. And then doing pictures, like I can't take a selfie to save my life. My hand and my arm doesn't do it. And so I don't know why, but I can't. So the reader would have to do the selfie, you know, and it was like, it's very close. And so I think it's better to have a helper.
Yeah.
I bet it's probably like, you know, you have to travel to where, you know, fly, or do you drive? You fly.
Yeah.
Then you have to like ship all your all the boats and all that stuff. It's like a big logistics, I feel like.
It is, yes, there's a lot of logistics involved in it. Luckily, this one that was in Phoenix, I'm in Phoenix. So I was like, perfect. Yes, I will do it. And I've already signed up to do it next year because it was like, it's big. It's a big signing that's local. That doesn't happen often.
Right.
So I was like, okay, yes. And then the Vegas one I did drive last year. I don't think I will do that again this year because it's a long drive and some of it is a little scary.
Yeah. That's understandable. I think I've drove that. Like when we were, we've driven from Alaska to Texas. We went through that.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
But
that's crazy.
We barely fly anywhere. So if like we want to go somewhere, we're always driving. So for me, like flying is luxury. It's like, oh, I don't want to drive ever again. Like, because it's like,
right.
You know, it's the same. It's not any more comfortable than driving. So it's like, I'd rather just not drive. Because my husband always likes to travel, but like sometimes like, why are we traveling during the winter? We live in Montana. I don't want to like drive anywhere when it's all ice.
Right.
Which is like, I'm fine with it. Like we lived in Alaska, so that's okay. But it's still like, I'm not an outside person anyway, so like, you guys can go somewhere. But
yeah. Well, I have all my brothers and sisters live in Arizona. My sister's in the Phoenix area, and I went there once and drove, and I was like, can't drive here. Although I saw what's the mountain you have there? Is it Camelback?
Camelback,
yeah. It's different. It's pretty, but I'm used to green.
That's where I got engaged. At the top of Camelback,
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is that in the book? Because I'm going to need to read that.
Camelback Mountain is in the book. The engagement's not. But
okay.
Camelback actually is in the book.
Okay. I'll be sure to read that and write a review.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. It was so fun to get to learn about you, and I hope that everyone goes out and reads Penn from the Olive Township series. So congratulations on your release.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, be sure to follow us on all our socials and make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any of our new episodes. If you have any authors you would like to see on our podcast, you can DM us on Instagram at Unfiltered Romance Nights. That's all. See you next time.
Bye.